Today I'm going to show you how to use the Sims 3 Edit in Game if you have Windows and the EA app. By the end of this, you should be able to edit your world in Edit in Game, EIG. So you already need CAW installed. I'm assuming that you know CAW, you have it installed, you know how to use it. So this is my world and create a world. If you notice up here, there's an edit in game button. That doesn't work anymore, and that is not what we're going to use. I just wanted to show you that this is not the way. First, I want to thank James Turner, who created this tutorial, which I'm basing my tutorial off of, and also Zaid Chris, who's the one who came up with the solution. I actually created a GitHub so that all you have to do is download what I'm going to show you. So you go here to code, you go here download zip, and it's going to download it. You open it up, it's a folder, and put these three things, EIG, switch to CAW, and switch to gameplay.bat, and put them on the desktop. It's a script. All you have to do is drag a world. So let's go to my folders. So all you have to do is drag this world onto the bat file and it would open. I have another step before you do that I recommend if you use mods and CC. So I'm going to go to my Electronic Arts folder, and if you see here, this is The Sims 3 in documents that you should be familiar with. Now I have a whole lot of mods. So Edit in Game doesn't like that and doesn't open with it. So I'm going back to Documents Electronic Arts, and I'm going to rename this as The Sims 3 _ gameplay. Okay, so that's that. Next, I'm going to open the EA app, and we're going to press play. And I don't know if you saw there, but it created a new clean folder. So I'm just going to go in game real fast, and so it could fill out the rest of the folder. So now I'm in game. All I have to do is quit. And the folder should be filled out. And so that's going to be your clean folder. Okay, so now you have the setup for if you want to go into Edit in Game in your Create a World format. So the folder with your mods and stuff should be labeled The Sims 3 _ gameplay, and then the folder that Create a World is going to use is just The Sims 3, and that's the blank folder with no packages and no mods, nothing. So I am going to open up where I have my worlds, which I have my own folder, which is The Sims 3 and a CAW, and then I have them labeled. But if you just save your worlds automatically through the path that Create a World gives you, I believe it's Documents, Electronic Arts, The Sims 3 Create a World, User Tool Data, and then it should be in Worlds. And that's where it saves your world if you're not putting it in another location. So once you found your world where you put it, you stored it, you're going to get the world. Mine is labeled 5 trees 92 world . I don't know why, but you're going to take the .world file. You're going to drag it onto the EIG.bat, and this can come up. That's your security thing. I know what it is, so because I made it. So I'm gonna turn this always ask before opening the file off. You don't have to. So it pops up this thing, and it's gonna open it in EIG. It does take a while to load, especially if it's a world that you've been working on pretty actively and it has a lot of things in it. Oh, well, this is perfect. So it didn't open up. If you see the launcher, that means that it didn't work. So close the launcher, press any key to exit here, minimize the EA app. So when that happened, I know that the EIG didn't like that it's in like a bunch of folders. So I'm going to take the name of the world, .world. I'm going to take the dot settings, and I'm going to go up to the folder that belongs to it. So 5 trees 92. I'm going to take all that and I'm going to drag it onto my desktop. Now I'm going to take the dot world and I'm going to put it on, I'm going to drag it to the EIG again. And so this pops up, and let's hope that it opens. Sometimes it doesn't, and you might have to try multiple times. And like I said, it takes a long time to load if you've been working on the world. So this black screen should pop up. It's loading. And then you go straight into the game without the intro or anything. But once it's done loading, then you're in. Then you're in editing game. And this is what it looks like. Well, this is what my world looks like. I don't know if your world's gonna look like this. I also have reshade on. I don't know if you can see that up there. That's why it looks so bright. That's another tutorial for a different time. So when you're opening in game, make sure you do not have create a world opened, or else it's not going to load and it's going to mess it up. James recommends that you do not have the EA app open, but I don't see in my experience that makes a difference. Okay, so this is what your electronic arts folder looks like. We have the Sims 3, which is just the clean folder that we made for Create a World. And then we have the Sims 3 gameplay, which is your folder with all your mods and stuff. So say you want to now go back to playing the game. You're done with doing editing game and CAW work. You want to go back to playing the game. So what you would do is you would go to this batch file over here called Switch to Gameplay, and you would double click it. It says switch to gameplay, press any key to continue. Now you see that the clean folder for CAW was renamed to the Sims 3 _CAW, and the gameplay folder was taken off the _gameplay and it was made just the Sims 3. So if you go into it and you go to your mods, you will see that all your mods are there, and that's what happens when you switch to gameplay. So opposite now. Now you have been playing the game and you're done. And you want to switch back to CAW. Here's the switch back to CAW. Okay, enter, and now it's the opposite. The CAW folder turned to just the Sims 3, and the Sims 3 changed into the Sims 3 _gameplay. I hope that makes sense. I think a way that you would know if you don't have the folder switched to the right setting is if it says CAW here in this folder, if it says the Sims 3 _CAW, and you try to go into editing game, it won't work because of all your mods and everything, and editing game gets bloated and it doesn't like that, it won't open. Now if you have it the opposite way, which is this way, where the gameplay folder is not the active folder, then when you load into the game, all your, like if you have the no intro mod, that you're going to see an intro. You're going to go in the game, the pop-up with the mods is not going to pop up. You're going to play your game and everyone's hair is going to be bald and all types of things. So I added that if you don't want to manually switch your folders out by renaming them yourself. It's optional to use these two bat files. I just included them for your convenience. The most important one is eig.bat. So that's the whole point of this tutorial is the eig.bat. So if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'm going to link James's tutorial. He has some troubleshooting there, so you can look at his tutorial, his post first, and then if you continue to have questions, please let me know, and I'll try to troubleshoot in the comments. Anyway, thank you for watching, and you have a good day.